Do I know you?
You were in the arena, looking for a contact. The program carrying explosive cargo?
They never made an appearance.
No, not for you. But it was me. I'm... glitching.
Looping?
Yes.
So I helped you on one of those previous loops.
You did. You helped me escape.
Fantastic. Not to shatter the rather brilliant impression I'm sure I've built with you, but I rarely help programs for free. Oh. I didn't, did I? I traded you for the Mirage code.
That's right. I have it, but this isn't my last loop. I'll find you and give it to you later if...
If I help you again.
I'm working with Core.
Well, that's a plot twist. I told you what they are, didn't I? What they're doing to this city?
You did. They did it to me too. It's a long story. I'm working for Core. They sent me to investigate the graffiti around town. Your graffiti.
They want you to de-res me.
You don't seem shocked.
No. It would take a lot to shock me at this point. Reset are active across this grid, trying to loosen Core's grip wherever possible. My art is a hobby, but it also serves a more esoteric purpose. If you want them to believe you de-resed me, you'll need proof. Take this glove. It's what I use to make the marks.
Thank you.
The glove won't survive one of your loops, so come back here if you don't make it to pick it up again. You're one of us now, XO.
I'm still working that out.
That'll do. For now.
Hello, XO.
I don't understand. We had a deal, Spart.
I've activated floor restraints. I need you to stay calm. It'll be easier that way. You're not going anywhere. I'm going to take your disk too, program. I am truly sorry to have misled you. You're the unfortunate collateral of a pragmatic choice.
The power of diplomacy, XO. They want peace. I want you.
I don't know what he told you, but whatever he promised, it's beyond his power.
For now. But I explained our situation to Spart here, the value that Core will place on you and your secrets. I'm sure Tacitus will be particularly interested in you. He'll see what I see. I will be rewarded for that vision.
You will not forget our terms, Khan. You're going to leave us alone?
For now. You've shown me your usefulness. When my betters recognize mine, I'll remember the ones who stepped aside for my ascension. Make sure you stay in that category, program.
Of course.
Coward.
My kind have tried bravery, XO. Sierra still strives for that antiquated ideal of a truly independent society. He's an old fool. We must build bridges, even with unpleasant programs like our mutual friend here.
He'll betray you.
Probably. But he's a little less likely to now, and that is an incremental win in itself. As I said, pragmatism.
This is the way of the grid, XO. I'm afraid your kind...
I don't have a kind. All I want is the truth.
Your kind cannot face the storm that is coming. If this grid is truly ending, then only the strong will survive. Or those with the smarts to stand with the strong. I get it. Spart here gets it. What do you struggle to process?
I'll stop you.
With what army? Because that's what it'll take once I'm where I deserve to be. You remain my key to that function, XO, and for that, I am exceptionally grateful. But first, we're going to go for a short trip. Let's take you somewhere a little more secure. You're about to meet someone very important. So watch your manners.
I'm not done.
Oh, you're a long way from done. I brought you something new to play with, boss. Something special.
I imagined you'd be taller, XO.
I'm disappointed too. I thought you'd be more intimidating.
I'll see if I can improve upon that first impression.
Stop struggling, XO. The floor beneath your feet constrains all prisoner movement. There's no escape.
There wasn't last time either.
I hope you're not just trying to offload a problematic prisoner on me, Con.
No, this one is special. She survived an explosion, the arena, my pursuit. I was hoping her data would accelerate your work.
Presumption is not a weakness I gladly tolerate, program. You know I have a place for the weak.
Of course. I meant only that...
Enough! So, you the one this program considers so special?
I'm guessing most programs he meets are impressive compared to him.
Indeed. Some strange data on this disk. There may be something there. Enter my facility, proceed to induction. We shall see then how useful you are.
I wonder if we could...
Away, program. If, and only if, this little program you brought me bears fruit, I will see to your petty desires. Leave me to my work. We are doing vital work here. We're building a new society. I'm excited to find out if you're worthy of a place in it. Do not disappoint me. Fascinating.
Is that all you have to say to me?
It would be unwise to unduly influence the variables of an experiment.
You're testing me.
I was. But in all honesty, you're becoming less interesting by the moment. My work is about the exceptional, the programs who stand out. You've proven somewhat pedestrian. I'm a program who has dedicated my function to study. I observe. I reflect. Through that analysis, because of that analysis, I seek the new and unfamiliar.
But you don't just watch. You corrupt and distort.
How so?
They took me to your induction chamber. They tried to turn me into one of your experiments.
They attempted to elevate you, to make you better through all that we have learned here. I hold up my mirror to the programs of this grid and I see an opportunity for improvement, a reduction in the mediocrity of individual flaws, a unified army to save this grid from itself.
The glitch? The rumors are true?
On this occasion, our time is short, and only the strongest will survive. I am bringing core to the necessary level, but you represent something of an outlier in my data. Flawed, broken, and weak, and yet you got this far.
You're delusional.
A reasonable theory, given the evidence to which you've been exposed. But I know better. You're a Chaos agent. That Falcon thought you consistently outpaced him because you were somehow gifted, special. In reality, you've simply been lucky.
I wouldn't call this lucky.
As I have established, we will not be relying too heavily on your observations to arrive at our conclusions.
You're lucky I can't move.
If I were lucky, you'd have been more impressive. If you had impressed me or proven any match, I put you in my chamber personally. Add your advantages to the pool. You would have been of service to me, to core. But I see now that you are not here by what the users would call natural selection. You are here by blind, unquantifiable, useless luck. You are of no use to me, and there is only one place for useless things. Say hello to my brother for me.
Who's out there? Come into the light.
I'm not who you think I am. My name's Moto.
What?
I know that look in your eyes. I've seen it many times before. You mistake me for my brother, Tacitus.
Brother?
A figure of speech. We emerged with the same face. The mystery of that coincidence is what drew us both to our professions.
So you work with him on his
I used to. And then I saw where his path would take us. He refused to stop, but he allowed me to continue my work down here in the shadows of this grand fortress. I help these programs, these mistakes have become a new family to me.
His cast-offs.
My brother is a scalpel, but like all blades, a mark is left after he cuts. I do what I can to ease those scars. I need a look in your eye because I've seen that fear on the faces of all those who are cast down here. My face is a curse, but it's also a reminder of why my work is so important.
But you don't stop him?
I don't have his vision. I'm weaker than he is. I can do more here than I ever could taking him on directly. Maybe if I shared his ambition, his drive.
You almost sound like you're impressed by him.
Are you not?
He's a monster.
I don't see how one contradicts the other. In fact, I'd argue there's more danger in underestimating and belittling his success in pursuit of monstrosity. I don't underestimate my brother, which is why he continues to work up there and I down here.
I don't have time for this. I need to get to the Outlands. Can you help?
I don't think so. To escape, you'd need to know where to go and possess the means to get there. Up here among the clouds, that light cycle on your hip is useless.
How do the guards go down to the surface?
Of course. Light jets. They keep the battens in the hangar.
But where would I go, even if I could fly out of here?
The guards won't tell you. But I've heard rumors of a program held in storage. They say he's resilient. He might still remember enough to point you to somewhere safer.
Thank you.
Wait. The battens and prisoner are guarded. No experiment would even get close. But I know better than most the value of looking like somebody else.
What are you doing?
If you can't beat them, join them. I've updated your code with the high-level clearance. That's easy. But I've given you something else too. You can use core lockers to apply disguise. You'll pass as one of them now. It's not perfect. Security drones will spot you. But it should fool the average grunt. One more thing. I've upgraded your disc to absorb the attributes of enemy weapons. You can steal their code. Use it.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're giving me something to think about.